I met a gypsy.
So suspension moving to more intelligent
For sure.
suspension, because there would be components where you have the actual physical system itself.
Yeah.
But then you also have physical systems that are incorporated with intelligent systems.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think like a really smart active suspension is for sure the future. And it's, I mean, it's really like a carburetor today. So you make it perfect for this day, this altitude, this temperature, this humidity, and it runs so good. And then tomorrow it's a different weather and it doesn't run good anymore. And that's where we are with suspension today. So I don't think this is gonna happen anytime soon, but for sure in the next few years, huge things are gonna happen. And I think it's a huge benefit. Like if you have a factory team, yeah, you have a guy full time that is constantly setting up your suspension, but that's not the case for 99.99% of all the riders.
Well, and even they can't get it right.
Right? Exactly.
Like, look at Jed at A1 hating his motorcycle.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and eventually, everyone will get it right. You don't need to, like, you're just gonna tell the bike what you want.
How hard is that?
I mean, now it's super hard for sure. Like it's a massive challenge because this is a combination of mechanical challenges with electronic and both hardware and software. Because if you want to make it really, really smart, you need AI to do it, and it has to be safe. Because imagine if it fucks up, that can be really bad too. So yeah, I think you're gonna see it in steps for sure. Maybe in the beginning, like you on a button can just change the settings.
Yeah, or sag.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
And then like the ultimate goal is that you will speak to the bike and it will suggest things and you say yes, no, and
The thing I love about this too, right? So 3 years ago, you were sitting here saying like a bunch of crazy shit that has come true. So now, for anyone listening that is like, fuck, he's saying a bunch of crazy shit. Well, that's how this works.
Yeah.
Like that's how the future works. Like we're right now. I remember the first time we spoke, I was just like dying to ride the motorcycle.
Yeah.
And then the first time I rode the motorcycle, I was just dying to own the motorcycle. And now I own the motorcycle.
Yeah.
So there is a progression where like the future does actually happen, and there's like somebody responsible for making that future happen,
Yeah.
There's like such a big disconnect from people in like the present moment when you talk about, these things, but like they all happen.
Yeah. So how would you describe the bike today? Like what's the good with the bike, and for us working at Stark, what should we improve?
I think that the best thing about the bike is ease of use. So like if you talk about just the experience of riding the motorcycle, it's by far the easiest motorcycle to ride. Then I think that that is because there are so few variables compared to
Sure.
the competition, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to change gears. You don't have to put fuel. There's no maintenance required. There's literally nothing. You don't even have to use your feet.
Yeah.
Like that's another huge thing. Like when we did the race together last year.
Yeah.
Dude, to do that on a gas bike, think about in 8 hours.
No.
How many? Yeah, no.
I wouldn't have come.
But think about how many times we would have changed gears.
Yeah.
How many times would my feet have had to move go up and down
through those sand rollers?
Oh
my God! Please no.
Yeah, it was a struggle on the world's easiest bike. But so I think that's like first and foremost, that would be like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
But then I think that there's just so many fringe benefits that come off that. Like my wife can ride that bike.
Yeah.
She's not a motorcycle rider at all.
Yeah.
She never even knew what a motorcycle was until we met.
Yeah.
I can literally give her that bike. I can slide the power.
Yeah.
And I can give her a very safe and controllable motorcycle that with another slide is an extremely unsafe but controllable motorcycle.
Yeah.
So I think that there's that. There's no maintenance. I haven't literally touched mine.
Yeah.
I'd put new grips on it. That's it. And you just don't have to do anything.
Yeah, that's
So I
nice.
think that there's that. The drawbacks would be weight.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I would just say, and that's tech.
Yeah.
Again, that's owning the first iPhone.
Yeah.
The first iPhone was not good. It
Yeah.
was so good compared to every other phone
Yeah,
that was on the market.
sure.
But in comparison to the iPhone 16 Pro Max,
Yeah.
it's a piece of shit.
Of course.
So I just think that that's the same. We're just in the same boat. And that's, again, what a tech product is. You know, like there's a mechanical world and then there's the world of tech.
Mm.
And Tesla, like if you compare to Tesla's a tech company that manufactures, like they build tech into a product in the same way that Apple is a tech company,
Of course.
but they build it into, so it's hardware and software.
Yeah. Yeah, and they were the first ones to do it in the car industry. Like all the others, they just bought systems from Siemens and Bosch, and it's like, yeah, now it works, but it's like it's not properly integrated. Like before Stark, I had Mercedes AMG G63, amazing car, I loved it, but horrible for the environment. Had to sell it,
Yeah.
but like a really, really, really nice car. And with that car, I had to read the manual to figure out how to play music.
Mm.
And that is just so fucking unacceptable. It's so bad.
Yeah.
You know, are you kidding me? But that's how more or less all other cars are. And that's to change the game, of course, by integrating everything. And I think we are working in a very similar approach where, you know, we're just trying to control everything to create a better experience.
That was the thing. And even now, like if I pick up an Android, like even when I have to use my Stark phone,
Yeah.
like it's not intuitive to me at all how it works.
Yeah.
But I remember the first time I ever used the iPhone, it's just like literally a 3-year-old can use an iOS.
Yeah,
It's
I think
just
that's
so intuitive.
Yeah, that's the difference.
For sure.
Yeah. And you know, like the swiping things, you know, it's just so weird. Like you think it's almost and it happens. It's going to be interesting to follow it's hard to imagine how it will become better. I mean, now we speak to the phones. That's next step, of course, but it's going to
Have
be...
you used the Apple Vision Pro?
Haven't tried it, no.
I haven't tried it either.
But we use VR a lot in R&D to you know, to see, because especially when you design iterate, like it's so fast and it's so good. Like when you take on a VR headset and you're in the design room, like you literally think the bike is there. Like you walk around it, you sit down.
So you guys are using VR so you have like a virtual bike,
Yeah.
and you're all looking at
Yeah. You can look down under it. You can like
What?
sit on it. Yeah, you walk through it, of course. Like, you know, but you can imagine sitting on it, you know, and this probably this angle. Maybe my knee is hitting, you know, this part here, and then someone can just change it super quickly. And so like the whole auto industry today are using clay.
Yeah.
Which is 100,000-year-old technology.
Literally. Literally.
And I think there are a lot of people that like clay, but I think it has so many limitations. It's so slow and a bit complex. And with VR, like VR today is so good, you forget it's fake. Like when you're there, you think it's real. And when you take them off, it's like you wake up in a new world. It's so, next time you come by, I'll show you. Like it's so
I would love that.
It's so good now. It's insane. And we had one person who had a VR headset on, an MXGP rider, looking at the bike. This was a while ago, actually, so now it's even better. And you have like buttons that are like your remotes that are like your hands, and he pressed something so that the bike fell over, and it falls over like naturally.
And
he panicked, tried to grab it because it's so real.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. And I think here it's something that that's just an indication. So that's VR, but what was really interesting is then AR. So, and I think actually we spoke about this before, but, would maybe AR is the future for motorcycling? Like, would you like to ride with a pair of goggles that puts an artificial layer on top of your experience? So, maybe it's guiding you around the track, which line choices, when to go faster, when to go slower, avoid casing that jump. I was at Paris 2 days ago. My whole body is hurting because I cased every single jump because I was not going fast enough. Maybe that could have helped me,
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.